Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the intense wind that will be possible as well as some other forms of severe weather across the plains today. So let's take a look at that and let's get into the video. So as I said, you can see there is a severe weather threat across the plains today. And so see, northern plains specifically in Iowa and up towards portions of Minnesota, the tornado threat 5% across portions of western Iowa and eastern Nebraska, as well as a 2% chance of a tornado from eastern Illinois all the way into central Nebraska there. Pretty much all of Iowa is under a tornado threat today. Whether it be a 5% or a 2%, you still need to keep your eye out for tornadoes, even if you're in the 2% area. So for wind risk, you can see what I was talking about, the intense wind possible. 30% chance of like 75 mile per hour plus winds over portions of Iowa and Nebraska, as well as 15% chance of 75 plus mile per hour winds going from northern Iowa all the way down into Colorado. 5% chance of a wind risk from southern Wisconsin all the way up into South Dakota, as well as another 5% wind risk up here in North Dakota and northwest Minnesota. And then another 5% wind risk here for the northeast, as well as a 15% wind risk for portions of the northeast, and then a 5% wind risk for portions of the southeast. So, a lot of severe weather possible today here. The hail threat shouldn't be too much of a problem for the southeastern area, although there is a 15% chance of hail that is 2 inches or greater. So, that's actually it. It might actually be a 10% chance or greater probability of 2-inch diameter hail. So, 5% chance of hail, of severe hail up in the upper Midwest and northern plains there. Then in the northeast we have another 5% area, a chance for hail. So, day 2 outlook tomorrow, we do have a slight risk of severe weather extending from eastern Michigan all the way down into eastern Kansas. Quite a large area there. Let's look at the tornado threat. The 2% tornado threat follows from eastern Kansas into Michigan. So as we move on to the wind threat, you can see we have a 15% wind threat from eastern Kansas to Michigan once again. 5% wind risk up and down the east coast here. And then we have another 5% wind risk from southern southwest Texas here all the way up to the Canadian border of Minnesota here. So basically from the Mexican border to the Canadian border here. So anyways, let's go on to the hail threat. Once again, we have it stretching from Michigan to the plains here into Kansas, as well as portions of Texas and Oklahoma. Also, portions of Colorado and New Mexico are included in this. Portions of Nebraska, South Dakota, portions of even North Dakota and Minnesota included in this wind risk here. Now, let's look at the radar imagery. Credit to Weatherwise for this, letting me use their products in my videos. Thank you to them. So, we do have a tornado watch in effect for portions of Nebraska here. So, like I was saying, the tornado threat here. We do have some storms that are ongoing here in Nebraska, although nothing strong or severe at this point there. And we do have a severe storm here going on in, that is southern Nebraska. We have a 0.88 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds that expires in like 35 minutes, I believe it said. So let's look at that wind. There is definitely some wind with this storm, as well as some hail in here. And then we have another strong/severe storm down here or up here, I should say, towards Denver. So it's moving. It moved through Denver there. I'm not sure how good of a look this is because of how close it is to the radar. It may not be the best scan of it. We can definitely see there is something there, but that's a bit far away from this radar site here. And then we have another strong cell here. And we have two other severe storms in this general area. In Kansas here, we have this severe storm here. Let's see. Yes, definitely some hail in there. Let's see. And then 1.25 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. So, to the storm to the south, 0.88 inch hail and 50 mile per hour winds for that storm. Now we have another severe storm down here. Let's see. For 1 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds here. There's definitely some hail there. There's definitely some hail in there. And let's see. There also is another threat for severe weather up here in the northeast here. So let's take a look at that, as we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings going out here. So one in Vermont here, or near Vermont, we have some hail involved in this and maybe some wind. 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds there, as well as 1 inch hail for 60 mile per hour winds there as well. And then this other storm here that is moving just to the east of Buffalo, New York, we could see that the warning is for 1 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. And we can see on the radar there is definitely some hail in there. So just keep these storms in mind if you live near these areas, especially in the area with the tornado watch up here, as that does expire in 6 hours. So still got a long way to go, and there is a larger area of severe thunderstorm watches in effect from Kansas, western Kansas, southwestern Nebraska, and eastern Colorado. Now on to the Weather Prediction Center. Today, this is for today, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, till tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as he saw severe weather possible from, actually, that was for tomorrow. So this is from today, 8 a.m. Eastern, till tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern. We can see, like I said, those severe weather threats here, as well as some flooding threats for portions of the east here and portions of the central United States. Also, for portions of the northeast here, there is that little flooding threat there. We do have a large portion of the nation expecting thunderstorms today, so we'll just keep in mind that if you're planning to do anything today in those areas, just keep in mind that there could be some thunderstorms that happen today. This is 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow till 8 a.m. Eastern on the 12th. So let's see. Severe weather possible in southern Michigan into eastern Kansas, like we mentioned earlier, as well as flooding possible from Wisconsin into eastern Kansas, and as well as thunderstorms possible for a large part of the nation here. Nothing much happening other than that, really. So the day 3 to 7 hazards outlook, we do have hazardous heat, and then as well as heavy rain possible for portions of Florida, and then hazardous heat for most of the south here, as well as portions of the west. We do have hazardous rainfall for a good portion of the central United States here, as well as the northeast. Now, let's go on to the Climate Prediction Center. This is valid for July 15th through the 19th. See below average temperatures for portions of the central states here, and then above average temperatures for portions of the western and a lot of the eastern states here. Now, precipitation wise, above average precipitation for most except for like the Pacific Northwest there in Seattle area there. Now the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook, this is valid from July 17th through the 23rd. We do have, let's see, wait a second. I'm trying to get, okay, there. We do have below average temperatures still hanging around, lingering for those central states, as well as above average temperatures lingering for those western states. The warmth is kind of divided here now among the northeast, the Texas, Louisiana area, and southern Florida there. So we see near normal temperatures for a lot of the east here. Precipitation wise, still the same story. Most are above average, as well as a lot of people near normal, and then some below average there precipitation wise in the Pacific Northwest areas. So here is the watch warning advisory display. As we saw, there was severe thunderstorm watches in effect for portions of these states, as well as tornado watches in effect for portions of eastern Iowa, western Iowa, eastern Nebraska, that area, as well as some heat and red flag warning and fire weather stuff out west. Now, let's see. Now this is today, I believe. Let's see, this would be around, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. This would be around 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So this is just like general weather patterns over areas. So you could see like the wind and stuff on this. So a lot of these areas in here, so see, a lot of the south here is experiencing 80s and 90s temperatures. That goes all the way up towards the Virginia area. So this is the total area that is, well, not total, there may be some areas left out, but this is the total, near total area of 80s and 90s temperatures. So if you're in those, I think that's the temperature, the red one's the temperature, I believe, and the green one is the moisture. So 80s and 90s temperatures, a lot of 80s and 90s temperatures today. So let's see, let me try to circle the best I can here. So let's see, I think these areas are the most areas experiencing 80s and 90s temperatures. So a lot of the United States is experiencing 80s, at least 80s temperatures. For a lot of 80s temperatures even above this line here. And then there's areas that are in the 60s, I believe. I think that's 64 up there near Seattle, so more mild weather for this time of year. Less like hot and humid. Still a lot of humidity for the south here. 73 dew point, I believe. Let's see. Now weather. So this is the medium range forecast, I believe. So okay, I don't think that was supposed to be here, but anyways, this is the temperature change, 24-hour temperature change. So you can see surface temperature. A lot of the west here was going a little bit, like, I guess you'd say, going a little bit, like, I don't want to say downhill, because like for summer, if you have cooler temperatures, that's kind of nice, but I guess you'd say they were a little bit colder than they were. So as well as for portions of the east coast here. So let's see. Now this is the Weather Prediction Center forecast thing. So this is for today, I believe. So today, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you'd see some rain possible here, I believe that is. So let's see. Yeah, that's thunderstorms. This is thunderstorms possible for a lot of the United States here, as well as portions of the east. So a lot of the United States has potential for some thunderstorms. Now let's move on to about Friday, I'd say 2 a.m. maybe. I think 2 a.m. Eastern time. And this, let's see. Portions of the East Coast still have lingering showers and storms going on, as well as portions of the plains here. Remember, this is tomorrow at 2 a.m. So this is, see, this would be tomorrow at 8 a.m. So see, you'd see some thunderstorms possible for portions of the northern plains here, as well as some portions of the south and portions of the east coast here. And you could see tomorrow we do have that severe weather threat for these areas, remember, on Friday. So this will be around Friday around 2 o'clock Eastern time. So we have those thunderstorms developing around those areas that are expecting severe weather, and generally for a lot of the eastern portions of the United States here, even into portions of the west. This will be around Friday 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have some more of that heavier activity developing along these areas, as well as the southeast here. Now let's move on to around Saturday. This would be around 8 a.m. Eastern time. We have still some thunderstorms lingering around, as this cold front comes through. Hopefully this will bring some relief to areas in the south here, as they have been pretty hot recently. Then this will be around Saturday 8 p.m. We still have that cold front making its way through, bringing the showers and storms with it. And you see behind the cold front is pretty clear. There's a high pressure system behind it. So this would probably allow for drier weather behind this system. And these low pressure systems, it connects up with this low pressure system, and it's just all one giant system bringing all this through. As it pushes everything through, hopefully it does provide some cooler air and some relief. Anyways, if you have enjoyed today's video, please subscribe for more of this content and help keep you updated on the weather. And one more thing before we go, you should check out EpicPen. You can do the free version, or you can also do the pro version for only $2 a month, and that would give you fading ink, that would give you on-screen text, and that would give you lines, circles, squares, and arrows, as well as whiteboard and blackboard here, and then also more colors. So anyways, thank you for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.